Minister, I got the impression from your meeting with the minister from the United Kingdom that there is some kind of excitement about further relations between Britain and Trinidad and Tobago. Is that your impression as well?
Well, the Minister of Overseas Development has been recently appointed in that position. And we discussed the question of deepening the economic and trade relations between Trinidad and Tobago and the United Kingdom. There was a lot of enthusiasm for assisting us in the development of Port of Spain as a financial center in the region. And he agreed that that is an area that we can talk about in greater detail. As you're well aware, London is perhaps one of the most mature and long-standing financial centers in the world. There's a lot of British interest in Trinidad and Tobago, and we discussed the issue of ensuring that the energy sector in Trinidad and Tobago continues to perform its role, but that there is need to have mechanisms in place for ensuring that there is a proper sharing of the benefits of that sector. And he agreed in principle that these are issues that we can talk about.
But the minister also seems excited about issues relating to security and agriculture.
That's right. In fact, he was very keen on complementing the efforts that we have been making in regional security as well as in the security in Trinidad and Tobago. And he indicated his interest to work with us in that particular regard. On my part, I sought his support for the small arms treaty that we are promoting here in the United Nations. And he said he will certainly give that his consideration, for a number of major countries have provided support, and I was seeking the support of the United Kingdom in that venture of ours. We have sought support from countries in Africa on this particular matter, and I've really joined with them. There are many different proposals for the reform of the Security Council. It is a difficult issue, but it's an issue that we believe will be more reflective of the changing political dynamics of the world, and will also provide a basis for changing how the United Nations operates. So you're quite right. I also sense, though, a toning down of the rhetoric of the past and an engagement of the issues before us. And clearly there is a very difficult issue with respect to the Syrian situation and with respect to the Israel-Palestine situation. And we have been at the background trying to give vent to a view that dialogue is necessary, diplomacy must be given a chance to solve this, but the urgency of it is what we are bringing to bear. Because we cannot allow 30,000 people to lose their life, which is the figure that was given to me, maybe right or wrong, and just have a blind eye. And I think the conscience of the United Nations is now being challenged here. And to some extent, the fact that the United Nations may have lost a little bit of its legitimacy in dealing with these hard political issues have emerged. I attended a meeting of the Security Council of the United Nations, and I listened to all the permanent members and non-permanent members speak on this issue. And I did feel that there was a sense of expectation that something must happen, but there was no real proposal on the table to make it happen. And therefore the sense of legitimacy of the United Nations, whose resolutions in the past have largely been not implemented, is at stake. So I think we are at a time in the United Nations where there is at the leadership level a genuine feeling of having an open book with respect to the future. Now perhaps I could tell you, CARICOM, and I was a member of the CARICOM team, which is led by Dr. Anthony from St. Lucia, met with the Secretary General of the United Nations. And some of these issues were raised in a very candid way. And the Secretary General responded equally candidly to the Caribbean, saying that we indeed must continue to play the role that we want to play, and that the issues that we have raised are issues that are important, but there is also the need for us to accept the fact that we must work together. And he applauded the Caribbean for being one of the solid group that have worked together with the principles of the United Nations.